Hello, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. Um, so I wanted to come on, and I hope that everybody has had a wonderful week. I was scrolling through my Facebook this morning, and I saw it was a very short video of a little boy who was, I'm guessing because when I saw, he had his folder and he was showing it to his mother. And as he was showing the folder to his mother, there was a picture of Dr. King, and he was saying, Dr. King was a good man. And he talked about the Black and white people having separate schools and different things like that. But he said something, and it was really heavy. He said it was the white, so he didn't say white people or white person or anything like that. He said it was the white that killed Dr. King, and he was saying, he was like the white need, we need to get revenge against them, and different things. And this is a little boy talking, so you can tell in his voice that he's so innocent, um, and things like that. And his mom was telling him, hey, you are white, you are white. And so then they had to have the conversation of, okay, yes, it was white people, but it was white people with evil intention. It was bad white people and different things like that. And he was saying, oh, it was bad white people. Well, I'm not a bad person, even though I'm white. And he was like, I wasn't even born at that time, and things like that. And these are the things that we all have to grapple with, right? Because if you draw the lines, and you say, who was there? Well, those of us who are in America now were there somehow. Our, our ancestors were on one side or the other, or they were on both sides, or they were whatever you want to say it is. But our ancestry, we cannot hide away from. We cannot hide away from the history. And what this boy and his mother were going through in that video was the exact same reason why there are so many people that are uncomfortable with history. Because if your skin is white, then you have to grapple with the things that your ancestors did to Black people, right? You have to grapple with all of those things that happened that were pretty mean, pretty evil, pretty unspeakable, things that happened, and you have to grapple with that. And how do you grapple with that? It means that you have to be open. It means that you have to be able to receive whatever that brings to you, whatever feelings come up for you, and be able to say, okay, now that I have the opportunity to look at this and say, this is what is a part of my history. How do I make things different? How do I not be part of repeating that history, and different things like that? But it takes a lot. It takes a lot of growth. It takes a lot of self-awareness. It takes a lot of introspection. It takes a lot of being able to say, I can look at this reality and understand this reality of my ancestry, and the things that were done in this country. But that little video, it was a short clip, so I'm not sure what the conversation was like after the video was done. But that's why people are uncomfortable with history. That's why people are uncomfortable, because then you start to go, oh wait, there's a part of my identity that is associated with either the people that received the trauma or the people that enforced this trauma on other people, the people that, for whatever reason felt that it was okay to do these things to a whole other group of people. When you look at history, when you look at genocide, when you look in Africa, when you look at the Holocaust, when you look at slavery in America, anywhere that a group of people were mistreated or marginalized, the number one thing that you cannot get away from is the idea that the people who are doing the discrimination, the people who are causing the trauma, see the other group of people as inhuman. They objectify them. They have to see the other group as non-human in order to do the things that they do to them. And that is the number one thing, seeing them, saying these are people that are bringing disease. These are, this is property. This is, you have a right to own these people. You have a right to, do all of this stuff. And if you think of people as objects or you know, inanimate objects or something like that, it's easy to do what you do. It's easy to be evil towards them. It's easy to do all of these negative things towards them. But watching that video just brought up so many thoughts and feelings and things like that in me that, that's why history is so uncomfortable. And in all actuality, we cannot change the things that the people who came before us did. There are so many things that the people that came before us did. We cannot change that at all. We can just say we are fortunate to now be in the position to look back on those things, and we can examine the history and say, how did these things come about, which has been done over and over again. Like, if you have any slightest inkling of trying to understand what's been happening, even if it's just a small dose of it, you'll find that there are people who have examined the genocides that happened in Africa. They've examined what happened with slavery. They've examined what happened with the Holocaust. And you can see the patterns and the ways that these things came about. And so any time you want to find any kind of information on how could these things happen in the first place, that information is out there. And so when you're looking at history and you're thinking about your identity, and you're finding that your identity either belongs to the group of people that were traumatized or the group of people that enforced trauma and caused trauma on other people, it takes some time to say, how do I deal with these feelings that are coming up? Deal with the feelings that are coming up, because there will be feelings that come up, and things like that. And so take some time to deal with them. Take some time to grapple with the fact that your ancestors were on one of these sides of the coin, and things like that. There are some of our ancestors who noticed immediately that this was wrong, and tried to help, in whichever way that they could, and things like that. So there are formulas in how the evil and the trauma happened, and there are formulas as to how we have come this far. And so looking at that and saying, okay, how can we keep moving the needle forward? How can we keep moving the needles forward and seeing each other as human beings? Let's judge each other for our character. Let's judge each other for the fact that we are all human and we've been through these experiences. Our ancestors have been through these experiences that have lasted on either trend, either line that you're following. Those things happened, and here we are. Here we are. We've come so far from that. And people like Dr. King, who was talking about having that dream that we will all one day be able to hold hands together. If you hear some of the speeches that he at no point was under the delusion that everything is going to be so wonderful and everybody's just going to be skipping in the park. Even he realized that it's going to be a long haul. It's going to be, there's still going to be people that don't agree with everything, but we want to get a majority of agreement rather than just focusing on it has to be 100%. No, we will take anybody that's ready to make the change. Let's move forward with that. Let's focus on that. Who's ready to make the change? Let's start focusing on that stuff and things like that. So if you're sitting at home, if you're sitting at work, if you're looking at history and you're feeling all kinds of things come up, you have a right to feel that way, because our ancestors did some stuff, all right? Our ancestors did some stuff. Our parents, did some stuff, and things like that. So we have to all grapple with those things. and yet we still have to live on this planet and move forward and work and feed ourselves and do those different things. So I hope that as you listen to this and you're feeling any which way, that you, if you want to talk, um, if you want to share, if you want to um, speak out loud and deal with the feelings that you're having, like, subscribe, send me some information. My email and ways to contact me are in the bio of the description of this video, of this live session. Email me and let me know, and I'll be more than happy um, to talk to you. If you send me a message and I don't respond, send it to me again. Don't be afraid to send it to me again. I'll be more than happy to have this conversation with you, because there's some stuff that comes up. You start to find that your ancestors or your whoever it wasn't doing the right thing, um, and things like that. But here we are, and we have the ability, we have the awareness, the gift of awareness to look back, and make things different for ourselves and for the people that are around us. So, all right. So, thank you guys for listening, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.